Back in the day, episode 7. My name's Herchell Carrasco.
What up, everybody? I'm George Garibay.
Hey, I'm Juan.
And we have a special guest today. We got Niz Carrillo here.
What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Bro, we're honored to have you here, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
How you doing?
Good.
For sure. I know you mentioned right before we got started that I asked you, have you done a podcast before? So what's the deal? You started it, but I want to hear.
Dude, I've never heard a podcast. I've never, not one.
Really?
Like other than like Instagram.
Okay, the
like
clips.
little reels and clips and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll get locked in a little bit of that, but like I've never.
Really? Not even like Joe Rogan or any of that?
Nah,
That's
nothing.
interesting.
I don't have one on my phone. Like,
wow.
I don't know. I'm just behind on that part, I guess.
Old school, man.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I get too lost sometimes.
Hell yeah. And
You're not missing out on anything.
George hates podcasts, man. Now you're a part of it.
Now I'm part of
much.
it.
But speaking of old
Became
school,
the one thing that I hate the most.
You know, I told these guys, I'm like, we're gonna have Niz, and I always tell them, I always talk about you, man, and I always tell everybody, you're probably the closest thing that I have to a mentor, man.
I appreciate that.
It was very important to have you here, and to really, I feel like you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of like insight that you can share with not just these guys, but everybody out there listening, because the game of tattooing, it's different than it was, right?
Oh, it's definitely evolved. It's changing daily, and man, if you don't keep up with it, you're gonna get left behind. So just approach everything with an open mind, and still try to instill some of that that tradition that you learned years ago, and evolving to now at the same time. You know what I mean?
And I guess before we get even deeper in tattooing, because I have a lot of great questions, I'm sure these guys do too, but let's take it back, to your childhood. You were born in Orange. What was your childhood like, man? What was your upbringing like, man?
Pretty fun, actually. I can't complain. We didn't really have a lot, but we always had everything we needed. I have a really big family. Really big family. If anyone knows me around here, they're like, this guy got cousins for days.
That is true. Yeah. I'm sure you know his cousins too, actually.
Dude, everybody.
Oh, I do.
Do you guys all get together like at family gatherings or no?
Yeah, we're a pretty close, tight-knit family, dude.
Okay.
We're right here in Molina, the east side of Orange, 55 Chapman, that way. Grew up there. Basic Chicano upbringing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Family-oriented like crazy. And yeah, born, raised, and reside, dude, right here. Still haven't gone anywhere.
Do you have any early memories of tattooing, or what are some of your earliest memories of tattooing?
Yeah, you know what?
What was that like?
When I was younger, my cousin Crow, Jesse, he passed away years ago.
Rest in peace.
He was doing it, and I remember I used to go in his house, my uncle's house, and on the walls they were plaqued up, the neighborhood stuff, and it was just like, what the hell's going on in here? And then I would see him, and then it's trippy because I would see him, no gloves, no nothing, like homemade machine, and I thought that was normal. Like, whoa, all my brothers and all the homies, they're all hit up. So I remember seeing that young, and then still people coming into the house or the parties or whatever, showing off some new stuff, and you see it now, and it's like, dang, those are like some back in the day tattoos, you know what I mean? But they were so cool.
Yeah.
And then my cousin started doing it, and he said, "You got to try this."
Yeah,
that was it, dude.
And you were always drawing?
Drawing,
school,
graffiti,
and everything too?
Yeah, I did all that.
That's right, because you do have an early graffiti background, right? Is that where the name Niz comes from? Is from graffiti, or?
No, my nickname came from my cousins later on in life. Early teens, messing around with them, doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing, just messing around, having fun, and they just called me Niz one day, and it stuck. At first, it was like, but then it stuck, dude. And
you guys go way back, working together?
Yeah, we went back. The first shop I met Herchell at was at West Coast Inc. And I came in from Corona out that way, and
Well, that's in Corona?
No, he lived in Corona at the time.
Okay. I live there now.
And then yeah, that was it.
Because I remember you were working at UPS at the time, right?
Yeah.
When I first met you,
I had
or you maybe you had just left, right?
I had just jumped off, and I was starting to tattoo full time. I was in Moreno Valley, Corona, and then when I really said I'm gonna try this, I ended up in Orange.
Okay.
Kind of Right, it's kind of
that's crazy how you left though. You know, you're living in you're from Orange, you left, you're living in Corona, and then come back to Orange, right? How it brought you back. How long were you tattooing though before you got into West Coast Ink? Were you just kind of tattooing on and off?
I was definitely probably like 2-3 years in, like trying it from the get go. You know, working out of the house a little bit, and then I messed up like one of my cousin's tattoos or something like that, and I'm like, this isn't it. You know what I
Those tattoos haunt you, huh?
Yeah, you know, and I'm like,
we've all had that one tat that just like, man, I don't know if this career's for me.
And I was like, shit. You know what I mean? Like, let me fix that. But I just knew right away I needed to do something else. I needed to figure it out right. So I went and did like a little apprenticeship and all that, and man, it really took off. I think that was a time when tattooing was changing too.
It was changing, yeah.
So it was like,
how long have you been tattooing for?
man, I think it's like 15 years now.
15?
Yeah,
Sick.
15, maybe a little more.
Yeah, because West Coast Ink was like 2010, right? Like around around those years. So this is 2010 that we're talking about.
Is that shop still open?
No,
The
it's
West Coast-
it's what's his name?
Blue Label.
Blue Label.
Oh, that's
It's
Blue
called
Label.
Blue Label.
Oh,
That,
okay.
but they say that shop's cursed, right? That space is
Yeah.
cursed because
Yeah.
it's been several
Several
different owners,
shops. I think
names.
Frank Ball used to own
Frank
that
Ball,
too.
Hardball Ink.
Hardball used
Yeah.
to be right
Okay.
there.
Because OG Spider owned it, and then he sold it to what's his name?
Benny?
Benny.
Is that Benny, right?
Benny.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
sick. I didn't know that was.
Yeah, that building, that location's been a shop for like a long time, and they used to say like it's cursed, it's
Yeah.
cursed. We went through some stuff there with you know some different type of tattooers and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, man, we need to figure this shit out, bro. And it's funny because at that time it was like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And Herschel's like, man, we should just start our own shop.
That's
And I
how
was like,
that's how it
before
started.
Pachuco. That's
Yeah.
because I mean Pachuco came because we got together. It was a group of us that were leaving that shop, and we were excited on the idea of opening something.
Yeah, yeah.
So and then everyone like you found a place, people were finding places, and I was left there like, okay, what do I do here? And that's what happened with us. But
Pachuco
that's
started.
but that's initially how it got started. Yeah. Wow, man.
So were you guys like all around like the round table and discussing like that Pachuco
you know, we
tattoo
had
was
a
gonna
tight
form?
group. We had a
did.
tight group at West Coast. It was the homies. We were just like, I think it was we were all
founding
kind of all
fathers
in the
of-
same
Yeah.
spot at that time. So we just
Yeah.
we were cool.
What do you think of? Do you think a reason? And I think that's a good topic. Is do you think a reason why, for example, West Coast Ink, it wasn't successful because it wasn't tattooer owned? Because that was one of those things that a lot of people were like, it's not going to work. And if you notice, a lot of tattoo shops that aren't owned by a tattooer, they don't really last.
They don't get much, right?
I mean,
It's
what do you think, bro?
It's
I know
hard
a few.
to own something if you don't really know about it. It's
True.
hard to do something if you don't really know about it in any profession,
True.
tattooing, anything. If you don't know anything about it, yeah, it is a business sense, but like you still have to know what's up. You know what I mean? Somebody who doesn't know anything about what we do comes and tries to tell us to do something. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, it's very important. Like I said, learning a lot. When I left West Coast, I went down to Huntington, the Players Club.
Yep.
And I learned a lot from there because those guys are some real tattooers. You know what I mean? And they were doing anything it took to get that shop up and going and jumping because it was just starting.
Yeah.
And that hustle, that drive, that knowledge, you know, because no matter how knowledgeable you are, sometimes it feels like it's not working or something, this and that, and it really takes a village. So when I became a part of that and shit, it was like adrenaline, bro. Like, wow, this is a climb.
Exciting.
This is so much stuff.
Exciting.
That's cool.
Input and
Yeah.
doing this and going here and tattooing this and learning new shit I never knew before. It was like, okay, and I was excited to be a part of that. And that was like a great thing for me because it taught me, fuck, this is how you're going to do it. This is how you should do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's the time that you go and you work in a place, any shop nowadays, but that shop, there was just something consistent all the time, you know, whether it be good or bad, but it was always a learning experience for me. And I've taken a lot of what I know from there and
Definitely.
other shops, like, to get my
Yeah, I
shop
think
done.
once I like working with you guys at that, West Coast Ink, that was one of those times I feel like in my career where I felt like, okay, like I'm really doing it now. It was exactly how you're saying. It's very exciting. You're right, and we were doing a lot of things during those years, West Coast Ink. I have a lot of questions, but I want to touch on West Coast Ink a little because again, that is where we
beginning.
met. That is our beginning. And I always tell people, I've gone on podcasts before, and a lot of times people always ask, about my early years, and specifically with the celebrity stuff. And I always tell people, this is the guy that introduced me to Britannia. That was one of my first like big clients, and it was just a big snowball effect after that, man.
It was.
So
you did really well.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. But like, that's something that I'm eternally grateful, and I'm glad I could have you here. I've told you before, but to tell you again in real life, man, I'm so grateful for that, and that's something that I'll be grateful for life, man. Thank you for that. It's not who you are, it's who you know, man.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what happened there. I feel like.
Absolutely.
So
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
You took anybody will give you that door. If you got to open it and do all that yourself, bro. So congratulations
Appreciate
on
it,
everything. You've always been one to take that step to just say fuck it and go for it. And when you see people holding back, Herchell never did that. Yeah. And look, man, I mean,
No, I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, that's so, like, if you really are dedicated to something, you do anything just to achieve that goal.
Sacrifice a lot of shit.
That's the thing these days. And I think about tattooing especially, man.
Yeah.
You have to find something to believe in, to really believe in yourself always, but like I believe in this. This is gonna take me out of what I'm in and get me to where I need to go, and you have to stand up for it.
Mm-hmm.
So tattooing, I think, was a big thing for us because it was like, you know what, fuck it, this is it, bro. Let's do it. We're gonna do it all the way. Let's do it. And if you don't have that, you can see the type of career a lot of guys get out of it, So I think just full blown dedication for real, like it was cool, and it was a young thing.
Definitely. So you two have been tattooing for a long minute now, right? You guys are more like
a little while.
For a while. So what do you guys think about like these new school artists, the new generation of tattoo artists that are picking up a machine from Amazon or something and kind of learning on their own, like the new school? What do you guys think? You know what? Kind of relate to like the gatekeeping. What do you think?
Like it's out of control, huh?
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, you guys.
It's a little wild, but I have to say that the way I used to think about that, it's a lot different now because I'm not going to hate on anybody anymore. I used to have that type of feeling in me, like, man, fuck this guy or this and that. Like, they don't know what's up. They're not putting in their work. And this and that.
But you were hanging out with dudes that have been in the game 20 plus years. So this is what's being passed down, you know? So I can understand that.
Yeah, so that stuff sucked for a long. It still does, dude. It still does. But
I still feel it because I went through an apprenticeship, and for someone to just randomly pick up a machine where I had to put in the hours, the time, the frustration and all of that, and seeing someone so frantically just pick it up and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna tattoo the homie."
Get on TikTok,
and I'm like,
and then blow up,
It's a double-edged sword nowadays, man. Because thankfully, tattooing, and people need to appreciate that, tattooing has become something for more than enough of people to live off of.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't go through the process, even if you don't do that, you can just pick up a machine, be talented as fuck, and you're making money and feeding your family.
See, that's that difference right there. Where like if you pick up a machine and you're actually talented, good for you. Yeah. But if you like pick up a machine and you're the opposite,
you're just doing for the limelight stuff.
The limelight, the cash, whatever. Because I've had people come up to me be like, "Well, I want to be a tattoo artist or whatever," and I tell them like, "Well, but what are you in it for?" You know, when my apprenticeship came about, Wade, the first time, like the first week I was there. He asked me like, what are you doing this for? Like, why are you wanting to become a tattoo artist all of a sudden? And I was like 16 at the time. And I told him like, I just really love art, and I really want to see my craft grow. And he said, keep that in your mind, make that your staple. Yeah. Like, don't be like, if you're in it for the money, that money ain't gonna come right away. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, you ain't gonna see that shit for like a really long time. Yeah. But if you're in it trying to get that money, like, it's cool to get that money, but to be like doing 3 or 4 tats and then be like, oh, I'm gonna start charging like $100 an hour for garbage, like, it's probably not right for you. And most of those guys don't end up making a full career out of it. They do like more like on the side, like the homie does it, for cheaper or whatever, go to him, you know what I mean? Bro, they become those guys,
This isn't for everybody. No. Bottom line, I know the truth fucking hurts and sucks, but like, it's not for everybody. We had I had an apprentice at my shop recently just try to do it, and he's fucking hit the bottom, and I saw that. I saw his struggle. It's like, and then he just started getting flaky. And then it was just this excuse after excuse. And I told the guys, it's just keep your hands clear of it because it's going to pan itself out within a couple of days.
Sure.
And it did exactly as I said. I said, dude, because I'm used to that.
Yeah.
Now he's obviously, you know, the Instagram tattooer again and this and that. He's living life happy because he's living in his means, which is fine. Let him, dude, whatever. You know, you can hack it. That's cool. Do your thing, make your money. That is the difference from now to then. Like we didn't have a choice because now you got tattoos everywhere. Fuck, what are you gonna do? They weren't accepted as much then in the workplace and this and that. Like, what are you gonna do? We had to do it. I had to do it. You know what I mean? I chose to jump way off that deep end and dedicate myself to it. Not for the money. It wasn't for the girls. It wasn't for the drugs and all that shit. You know what I mean? It was. Because that was it for me. I didn't know what else to do.
I remember when I met you, bro. When I met you, one of the first things you said was, I just want to really do like mind-blowing tattoos, you know? That was one of the first things I remember you telling me. We were talking about things and, you know, we all have different like, you know, goals and things. And I remember you saying like, I just want to do badass work, you know?
Dude,
and that's something that stuck to me too, you know?
I just wanted to be cool, man. I was looking at all the guys before me, you know? There was Jose and Steve and all these guys.
Chente, I remember you telling me about, that's how I found out about Chente because you
like,
brought him up and I look.
Chente Rios?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's a dope artist. Huh?
So after you left West Coast Inc., bro, you go to Players Club Tattoo, right?
Yeah.
You know, same thing, legendary shop, you know, shout out to Players Club Tattoo.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Because I remember you had a pre-existing relationship already, right?
Yeah,
and then you just kind of went over there and
yeah. I just took a shot at it. I called Jay.
What were those years like?
They were fast.
For sure.
They were fast. And it was a lot, like I said, it was a lot of information. But I mean, the knowledge and stuff that I did there, it kind of made me who I am.
True,
you know?
true.
I literally left everything that I had going on in my life, people, friends, everything. Like I dropped it to dedicate myself to something. Normally, I wouldn't say I'm super proud of that, but like, dude, that
I
time
understand,
off,
bro. Yeah.
Niz was born.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is who I am now.
Yeah.
When I went back and I started seeing people again and all that again, this is who I am now. It wasn't like, hey, what's up? Whatever. Like, it wasn't like a juggling thing. I was who I was. So I'll never like, we had some crazy times, some great times, the tattoo education and the nights and we had some great times there, dude. But like, I'll never be more appreciative of that place making me.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? Like, it was really like, this is who you are now, a tattoo artist, you know? And then obviously after that, the other shops after that, I worked at Goodfellas, I worked, you know, and those are all challenges as well. Because
and for the people that don't know, so Players Club Tattoo, part of the history, and Juan, because, you know, I remember I mentioned Juan's a newer guy in the game right now. So Players Club Tattoo, JJ, he apprenticed he worked closely with Good Time Charlie, right?
He worked at
so Good Time Charlie, so there's a lot of history there. And that's another reason why I want to do these podcasts, is so we can talk about history, talk about those things. That way it's around forever. And I don't want that to be forgotten, you know, because I think it's also to respect the ones that came before you, you know?
Yeah,
especially with the new guys that are coming into the game. So, I mean, so just a little bit of history in that, bro. There's a lot of history with that shop and the people behind that, JJ.
JJ is, dude, he's so knowledgeable. There's 3 of them. There's the brothers, the Sawyer brothers. There's Danny Boy, JJ, and Chris Sawyer. Danny Boy is in Amsterdam, I believe.
Wow. Chris
is in Hawaii, and Jay's right here in Huntington. And just, I mean, alone, like, how cool is that, bro?
Yeah.
You got 3 brothers that all tattooed. They're all badass. They're all cool. Like, that's bitching. So to me, that was like a little advantage for me. You know what I mean? Like,
that's priceless.
Rad,
can't put a dollar amount on anything like that.
So, and then just Justin Hendrick, that's my
amazing.
He's
badass,
amazing.
bro. Amazing.
When he came into the picture, it was something else. That's when it was like, okay,
realism and portraits and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know shit, man. Like, this is getting crazy now. Like, I've never seen people do work like that in front of my face on me. You know what I mean? Like, it was cool.
What about you worked at the Solon shop for a little while?
Yeah, right? I worked with Gus. Big Gus.
Oh, is it a tattoo shop? I know it's a brand, right?
Yeah,
the clothing.
Yeah, they also have a studio in there.
Okay. Yeah, it's Gus's shop. It's a Collective Ink Gallery.
Collective Ink, that's what it is, bro.
I had been there a few times when they did like their
But when I was there, that was another big thing for me.
That's what I was gonna say. A lot of people you got to
work. That was a different transition there for me because I was working more like street shop style stuff, and then it was like, fuck, I was just having a kid, my first kid, my son Max. I love him so much, dude. So like, my thing was, all right, how serious are you gonna get? And mind you, that was my first kid, so I was still fucking a little bit off the tracks. You know what I mean? But like, what are you gonna do? And I knew Gus because I traveled a lot and this and that, and I seen Gus, and then I just, you know what, dude? Like, I'm gonna hit him up, bro. And it was a whole different thing for me. Going to a rent situation, which isn't cheap at all, you know what I mean? And I'm like, what the hell, why? But when I got there, wow.
Yeah.
Gus, Bob Tyrell, Goeth, Jason Workman was there. Gus's wife, Gypsy Rose.
She's badass, yeah.
Dude, that was like, okay, I know how to tattoo. But now this is where I think the first time I saw the art, like, dude.
Did you feel a little bit intimidated about it?
I was extremely.
You don't even want them to watch you tattoo, huh? It's just like, man.
And then it's over there. It was such a nice shop. It was the dim lighting, and it was fucking perfect on the walls and everything.
Gallery style.
It was gallery style, and it was like, damn, this is crazy.
Next level, huh? Yeah.
But getting there turned me up. I think it turned my work up a lot. And then we did the art show. From Cali with Love art show. Cool. And then that was when I really like, okay, this is.
I went to that one when you guys were doing the,
that's right.
the Cali for Love.
Yeah.
When all the rest of the artists were drawing up their
state
state ones.
Yeah.
You know? And I was wanting to draw one too, but I was an apprentice at the time. And then realized my other apprentice, my mentor, he was telling me like, nah, like, your shit's not gonna come out and stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
yeah, you know what? That art show, man, was an idea that I had, and we were just talking about it in the shop one day, cool shop talk, and Gus just looks over at me and he's like, fuck that, we're doing that.
And it was for a good cause too, so it's a win-win.
Yeah, we made a good donation to charity.
That's cool.
All the artists got paid. Everything. It was crazy. That was the first time me having to like go like 160 artists or whatever it was. Crazy, like, dude, to stay on top of that, learn stuff. But I got to meet so many people, and again, through that, I just saw art like, oh fuck. Like,
and they were doing the Solon Badges tats that day too, right?
I think no, that was a different one. That was a different day, yeah. But that shop was cool, man. Bob is badass. Goeth, I love Goeth. Goeth's also part of the Players Club.
That's what I was telling your brother about. Badass,
man. Dude, Jason, he was sick. Like, whoa, ridiculous. Like, it was great for me to learn what I did there. And it taught me a lot about business because Gus is a fucking businessman. So it's like, you know what? I can do this, bro. Like, cool. He gave me my blessing and everything. And he's like, good luck with your shop, because he knew, like, this is it for you after this. No one's going to, like, where are you going to go work? You know what I mean? You already don't listen to fucking me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where are you going to go work? Yeah, and I helped, like Mike and Rich and all those guys get in there, you know what I mean? And then look what it did for their life and their art and stuff too. It was just a great experience.
And see, it's a whole network too. So, because like,
it really is.
You know, we're talking about, I think that's the bigger picture, because we're talking about, you know, people getting into it and kind of writing solo, you know, maybe writing the private studio route.
Yeah.
And I feel like what separates you from, you know, being like a private studio artist versus, you know, being in a shop and you know, having relationships is the network, man. Because ultimately that's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Look at how we are. You know, me and Niz are connected. This is a network that was built. You know what I mean? So I think that's very important, man.
I think working within a shop, especially being in another shop, like if you're always going to a shop within shop, you tend to expand more of your knowledge, because you're watching everyone. You know, just by you even saying that, like you're even saying like you probably were taking pointers from them. You know, whatever they were doing, you probably wanted to know how they were doing it and how it can help you with your tattooing. And like, that's always like the better part. Cause if you're in a studio, I mean, your knowledge is basically stopped.
That was me. When I first started,
you know what? Dude, that's the thing. Like, you're only as good as the company you keep, bro. We've had our issues with other tattooers and no names, nothing like that. But like, man, fuck this guy, this and that, you know, because that's just a personal thing. Most of the people that I involve myself with, I can relate to and talk to and be cool with like this. There's guys that we worked with that's like, I don't even talk to them.
Yeah.
I'm just a dick, you know, like what does Niz not like me? Like, I really don't care because just your type of person. In my shop now, I always say, dude, I don't care how good you are.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, you could be the best. If you're just a bad dude or you're just a cock, like, man, you can go, bro. I don't need it. I don't want
feel
that.
that 100%.
I don't have that stress level inside me anymore to like, I don't have the space for that in my head. You know what I mean? I got my own stuff going on. Like, be humble, be cool. And all those shops, I don't want to say all those shops, like I didn't jump shops, you know what I mean? But like all the stuff, every opportunity I get to work with anyone.
That's why I like guest spotting.
Yeah.
You know, we guest spot for a couple days.
And I encourage these guys, you know, go out there, you know, go guest spot. Definitely, I encourage that for sure.
There's no place like home, dog.
Yeah.
That's why when I left...
It's like, Niz, can I guest spot at your shop?
You can't say no.
When I left Collective, that it wasn't to like, I'm going to go make money.
Yeah.
I wanted to go home, finally. And it wasn't like I lived far away and this and that. I was 20, 30 minutes, you know, but like I wanted to go home. And that was it. My intention should be by myself was to do the private studio thing because now I have a new kid and another one on the way, and like I just want to go home and figure this shit out all over again. Because
pressure's on at that point.
My whole career, I've tried to figure it out again, like start over in some type of way, like through my whole career, and now all the knowledge, watching my homies, watching you guys come up, the younger guys, like it's a lot. And my intention was to go into it by myself and this and that, but I couldn't because I needed somebody around me. And then, you know, I've worked with, at my shop now, I've worked with quite a few people, some characters, and I'm just happy that the guys I have now, we can do this.
There you go.
I don't have no like drama or nothing like that because personally, after all these years, just axe it out. I don't want
Definitely.
it. I don't want it, you know?
Yeah.
Care how cool you are or what you do on the side or this or that. Like, that's cool, man. We're a lot better friends than business. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you could be close to somebody, but you don't necessarily have to work with them. You know, you could keep them at a distance, have a friendship like that at a distance. But, you know, working at different shops, that's something that I think about a lot, man. And I've shared this with people. And if I could turn back time, me personally, Niz, I wouldn't have rushed to get into a shop, man. I would have definitely go work here for a little bit, go over there. And that's something that, you know, it is what it is now, but that is something that I wish I could have changed, man. I didn't want to just focus on just tattooing, not managing a shop, running a business, you know, accounting, like all the things that come with it, like at such an early on stage in my career. I wish I would have just taken my time on that, but it's cool. It is what it is, you know. Now I'm at a point now, like for me, this year is a year of like learning and growth, because I feel like I've been putting a lot of years personally of just like, you know, branding, getting people to come to the shop. Okay, I got, you know, the demands there for my work now. Now it's like, I just want to be better, man. And that's why this year I'm like seminars, like I really want to learn. This year I just want to be I'm focused on the craft, bro. Not even all this other thing. That's second. My craft itself right now is kind of like number one, you know, or it is number one.
Yeah.
So not to say that it wasn't, but you just get so busy doing so many different things that it takes away time from your passion, your love, you know?
Owning a shop is fuck, dude. It's a lot. I mean, and then not to mention, like when you're in a shop, you can be quiet in the corner and do your thing and let everybody do their thing. When you own the shop, it's your responsibility. Even just to know what's up, and definitely, man, even that can be enough. Like I can't, you know what I mean? Like, so it's a lot of work.
So from Collective, you went to One Drop.
I opened my shop.
Well, speaking of One Drop Tattoo, today's sponsor is brought to you by One Drop Tattoo in the city of Orange. I'm gonna give you guys the phone number. The phone number is 657-223-9121. They're off of Chapman in the city of Orange. You guys can see Niz. Do you guys take walk-ins, Niz? Do you take walk-ins? So make sure you check them out. One Drop Tattoo in the city of Orange. So yeah, man, One Drop Tattoo.
Have you had that shop?
This will be my 5th year. This year is going to be 5 years.
Sick.
And I always told myself my 5-year little assessment, I'm going to check myself out, see where I'm at, see what's going on. Do I want to do this? Do I want to walk away? Do I want to do whatever?
I feel that, man. I've told you,
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. And like I said, my kids, dude, Max and Irie, they're my fucking world right now. My lady, it's like the things. I'll tell you something right now. What I've learned a lot in tattooing is that I used to want so much stuff. I used to want all this shit that I thought was it. And now I don't, because I realize like I can't hate on it because it gave me that motivation to try to reach for some stars and stuff. But I don't want any of that anymore.
I agree.
I just want my family, my shop to be cool, the guys in my shop to be cool. I love all those guys. Like, I just, less is more for me now.
Definitely.
And I think I found more peace with myself and with tattooing, dude, because with the evolution of tattooing, fuck, it's frustrating. It really is, because like I don't know if I'm gonna get surpassed by this guy or that guy, if they're gonna start taking my money, my clients. Like, I don't know. Yeah. So really, what I do have, I'm so grateful for. I'm appreciative of it, and I just want to. That's all I want. I don't want the fucking.
Definitely. No, I can relate to that, bro, because I feel like, you know, in the recent years too, I thought I wanted these things, and you know, you finally get them or whatever, and it's not that fun. It's not that cool. Fun, it's not that cool, and you realize like the treasure was with you all along, like the alchemist. You know what I mean? So
remember, I used to say, dude, one of my favorite sayings. Somebody I looked up as a mentor to me too. His name was Capone. Remember Capone?
Badass.
Dude,
yeah.
He's a fucking gangster.
Big Capone.
He's a gangster, dude. And one day, I forgot what it was. I was a little bothered or something, but I think it was like a fucking no-show or something, you know. And back then, I didn't have money like that, and I was hungry, you know what I mean? And
I've been there a few times. Yeah. The beginning of my career.
And he told me, he's like, "Fool, we don't need money, homie. We are money." And it changed my, like, what? What the hell? That's stupid. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And then it just like, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. You know what? You're right. You're going to get what you give. You want to eat? Fucking eat right now. You make it. Don't sit there and let somebody else determine that for you. You know what I mean?
True, man.
Yeah. So when that came through, I was like, oh, all right, I got this.
That's good stuff, man.
You know, I got this now. Like little things like that would change my mindset to, fuck, dude, now I can eat wherever I want, you know?
That's amazing, man.
Yeah. Is there being a mobile, like being an independent contractor, you're basically a mobile person that you can make money anywhere. You know what I mean? Anywhere. You could pack up right now and be like, "Fuck, I'll go tattoo around the corner." You know.
That's why I say that. Like, it's so important that you dedicate yourself to this. Tattooing is probably the most beautiful thing on this world, other than my family.
Mm-hmm.
If you dedicate yourself to it and you learn, you know how to do it. You just know how to do it. I know how to do it. You can go anywhere. You can do anything, you know, because at least you have that to fall back on. True. It's like riding a bike, you know? Yeah, you might not be as good in the future or whatever, but you have it. So you have to respect it, you know what I mean? And damn, learning all that over these years, because it was like a tool to get a bunch of shit. But learning that is like, all right, I got it now. All right.
That's crazy. I love hearing this because I feel like I'm looking up to you guys because you guys been in the game for a minute, and I'm like one of the newer artists, and I feel like a lot of people my age are messing around, fucking around, and I'm just really just focused on me, my work, and my family, you know. So I like to listen to this, you know. That's what encourages me to stay in the lane, you know.
Definitely.
To keep going.
Dude, we watched a lot of stuff go down that I learned what to do by learning what not to do. Like, oh shit, you know, don't do that. Like, this guy's doing this, don't do that, don't do that. And unless you have like that family, it's a family.
Yeah.
If you have, unless you have kids or something like that, you kind of don't care. I'll jump off the deep end too. Fuck it, you know what I mean? But like, once you have that, you really pay attention to that stuff, dude. I don't want we won't talk about that stuff, but Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? We've been through it all.
What's the craziest thing that happened to you as a shop owner, like at your shop, that you had to be like, fuck, I gotta deal with this?
You know what? No, you know what? It had nothing crazy has happened like that. That because it's not crazy to me.
True.
Right.
Oh, when you're going on when you work at all these different shops, or street shops, or studios, there's the fancy shit, all that. Something always happens there. So you're like, whoa, you know, homeless, a crazy client, you know, this and that. Just it comes with all of it. So I think the craziest part to me is like, this happening at your shop now. Like, damn, like, you know, where's everybody at to get this fucking guy out of here or something like that? Like, no, it's your turn.
Yeah.
And I guess after working all those shops, like a little courage and shit you build up, you're like, all right, I got to get this fool out of here.
Yeah,
true.
And then it's like taking a step into your big boy pants when you know that, like, damn, I did that, you know? It's cool.
Mm-hmm. Bro, back to, you mentioned, you know, being inspired by certain people and working by other people that inspired you. You know, you mentioned Capone. Is there like people now that inspire you that you're watching, you know, and whether they're new, because bro, there's a lot of new tattooers that they're in their early 20s, you know, and they're doing amazing work, and I'm just like, this is insane. You know, this is crazy. So I guess that's what I'm asking. Is there, you know, people that you're watching right now that you're inspired, you know, and it doesn't even have to just be tattooing. It could just be, like you even said, on some business. Because I think it is important, bro, because we got to start planning ahead. I feel like me and you, because we're getting older, it's like we're planning more for a future, you know? And it's like these guys, they still have a lot of years of solid, just focus on tattooing. For us, we're like on this other thing of like, okay, what do we do 5 years from now?
We're on our way out,
you know. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to have other game plans. It's like, so what inspires you? Who inspires you, man?
I see Freddie, man, and I'm like, Jesus, how do you get better and better and better? You know what I mean? All the hardships he's been through. Freddie,
100%, yeah.
Freddie Negrete?
Yeah. Chente. You see these guys, the guys that I look up to, I'm seeing their personal life too, obviously through social media, because that's like the only vessel.
I feel like they're like our Jay-Z's, you know, like that type. Jay-Z,
I'm
Nas.
watching these guys do things now, and I'm like, dang, maybe I should be doing that too. But then their work habit, Fred, like, I'm inspired by a lot of people. Definitely. You know what I mean? And I think it's cool. The most inspiring thing to me is the work is great, but I like seeing the people that are like kind of sticking to the guns of tattooing, you know what I mean? Sticking to like, we do, you know, there is an apprenticeship, there is coil machines, dude. Like, I used my coil machines last night. Me and my boy Rob Rincon, we double teamed my homie Vinny. He owns Proper Barbershop.
Okay,
you do this side, I'll do this side, and we're like, this is cool. I'm like, you know, fuck it, bust out my machines, get the coils going. You know what I mean? Like, you have to do that, and I love seeing that. I love seeing a lot of that. A lot of the traditional guys, like a lot of my favorite work is traditional. You know, I do a lot of black and gray stuff, but I love seeing it just because it's executed so perfect now. The guys that are doing it, they're just I just like tattooing, but it being inspired, definitely Freddie. Chente, you know, I still look at like Philip Blue and a lot of the guys like that, like Justin for sure,
100%.
You know what I mean? And then a lot of the young guys too, you know what I mean? They're fucking amazing, and it shows their dedication, you know. But I guess at the same time, the guys that we are same time era, watching them, my peers, what are they doing? Because everyone's doing great, you know. I think so. Yeah. Walk-ins are non-existent now in shops everywhere, so it's hard. So you actually have to watch these guys hustle their shit, and everyone's different, you know. And it's cool to see that it's cool to see these people really staying alive, still feeding their family off of this shit. That's really what it is. You know what I mean? So I like that, man. As far as the talent, the art, man, there's so many. Yeah, there's so many. I'm sure I like you guys. You know, your guys' stuff. Like it's cool. I feel like almost the old guy, you know, like, it's still going, you know, still going on the porch, my beer belly, and just like, this is cool, keep it going.
Would you, go ahead. I was going to say, would you turn down someone that, like, say, like one of those, like 18-year-olds that want to get like a hand tat,
you know,
for the first?
Are you still stuck with that traditional sense? Like, if you don't have like at least like a couple on your arms or chest or legs, honestly, and go straight for the face, you know what I mean?
I have to say that these days it's way more acceptable. So fuck it. If you're gonna give them the haircut they want, like Ed said, you know what I mean? But me personally, no. I won't.
It's like, I'll give it to the next guy.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna do it, dude. Yeah. I'm not 20 something years old where the mom is gonna come and be fucking yelling at me or this, like, and we don't do that. I'm not here to mess up your life. I'll decorate you as much as you want to, but being a believer in this, like, you still gotta feel some shit. You still gotta do some shit, and then I'll fuck with you.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not like a dick. I'm not a hater, but like, you don't know.
I had like this one time where like this kid came in with his mom, and he was like, I think 16 or 17, and his first tattoo, he wanted a face tat, and his mom was actually like
supporting him on it,
obligating and supporting it to be like, if that's what he wants to get, like that's what he wants to get. If he wants to get a face tat, and I forgot what it was, but it was like something like pretty crazy where it's gonna take up like a good portion, and I was just like first of all, we don't do parental consent. You know what I mean? Yeah. And second of all, I mean, like, this kid don't even got a job. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's not to say like if you don't have a job or do have a job, but he's still a young guy. He's still learning what he doesn't know what he wants, you know, and the thing that he wants right now, probably he's not going to want in the future anymore. So me doing this face tat on him is probably not going to help him out in the future.
Be a good idea, you know. With these days, there's laser and shit on now where you can get it done, but like, I don't know. It's just before I had my face
that's double the pain and triple the price of getting the tattoo of just removing the lasering, because there's like you got to do like 5, 7, 8 sessions, 20 sessions just to get rid of that.
Never done it, dog. I don't think I ever will. I'm in the business of putting them on.
Just from the times that I've had clients come in, they've actually lasered like all of their shit and then wanting to get better shit over.
That's
you know what I mean?
But
they've told me in the past like how many sessions, like sometimes they pay like $5-6 grand, you know what I mean, just to remove that one tat, you know what I mean?
I'll cover it up, dude. That's what, like working at Collective with Big Gus. Damn, I learned cover ups. That guy,
Big Gus is like the definition of doing cover ups.
I learned a lot about cover ups from him because I'm like, oh shit, that's how you do it. So now I'm like, yeah, you want to save $6 grand on covering it up or lasering it off? You can pay fucking $6 grand and I'll cover that shit up.
True. Better.
Evolve in what you do as a tattooing. I don't take it off.
Because I've seen Gus do like rib tats where it was like a big old cover up,
bro,
and he's knocked them all out.
Too,
right? You know what I mean? Yeah, he'll do them all in like 1 or 2 sessions. You know?
Yeah, he's sick, dude. He's dope.
What's your machine lineup right now? What are you using right now, machine wise?
I use Bishops.
Oh yeah,
I have like all of them, I think. But like I use a Bishop, that Power One liner now. I made a joke about this last night because it's so true. I fucking used coils last night, and I had set up 4 needles. So it was 4 machines, 4 tubes, for this. Dude, it took me like an hour to set up. I felt like I was lost, you know what I mean? And then the Bishop, it takes me like 2 minutes. So I could see why now that convenience and all that is, you know. True. I still love my coil machines, all of them.
And I've noticed that it's more work using a coil. When it's actually easier to tattoo with a coil because it's just, if you know how to tune it right, it just fucking slaps right on. Yeah. But like the setup, the whole process of buying each thing individually,
it's a lot.
You know what I mean? And then storing all of that fucking shit where like you have like a big box, 4 or 5 boxes of one tube that's one size, and then you have to have like multiple different ones. You know what I mean?
I was just talking to Larry about this. Larry works with me, Larry Gonzalez. And remember fucking having to haul around all those metal tubes?
Oh hell yeah! Dude, I still have them bagged up in my
apprenticeship years, man. Cleaning,
I hated
cleaning all those fucking tubes, bro.
I hated that shit
because we didn't have an autoclave, so I had to clean.
They were nice
hand.
though. They were nice though.
The balance and everything.
The weight, bro.
There's nothing. There's nothing better than a stainless tube, dude. Honestly,
you're like in full control.
That is like the bomb.
As an apprentice, though, it's not as fun because you have to clean them
to a convention or some shit. That shit sucked. Cleaning them
individually wrapped. You know.
But now I think about it, like, it's cool. I did that. You know what I mean? I still do that. But like, dude, it was like, fuck. Even that, those backpacks. Just go to the show and just dude, 100-pound backpack on you. You know what I mean?
I mean, but to be honest, that's why you see a lot of tattoo artists like back in the day. They were all buffed out because they're having to carry all this fucking weight on them and shit. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of character in tattooing then too, where you know we're fucking boom, you're just these badass dudes, bikers and gangsters and this and that. So it came with like a almost like this masculinity.
Definitely.
Too, I think when
it was like that.
Now we carry those the rotary pens, right?
You carry the dildo. You did a video where you put a condom on them, bro. Like,
it's how to wrap your machine.
You know what? I think
Mike Chambers actually commented on that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Talking about like OSHA or something.
Yeah.
Dude,
what were you gonna say, bro?
I think that is how you say it, to each their own. You know what I mean? The only like, dude, I evolved from using coils to going to the rotary because. Damn, homie, you could probably hear my hand crack if I made a fist right now. Like, dude, the weight, everything like that, it's killed us. Yeah. But there's nothing like a fucking smooth coil machine.
I remember my beginning career, I used a coil before I went to rotary, and like Danny built me one, and it was like made out of full brass. And he made it as like
shocker.
I fucking be like having to balance the shit out of it, and then trying to pull a fucking 14-round liner while trying to keep that consistency going.
But you
by
know
the end of
what?
it, my hand was like throbbing
Yeah,
from it.
it's important though. I think especially, dude.
Oh yeah,
If you're a tattooing,
you
it
build
is
that muscle
very
memory.
important
You know,
to know what you're getting into, to know what was used first, to know where it came from. Dude, I like my apprentices. I try to get them like, hey, dude, break this motherfucker apart.
There you go.
Put it together. Paint a diagram. So you learn the watercolors, or you should know how to watercolor. But like you do all that, you know
I
the
learned how to watercolor.
pieces. You knew all this stuff like that. You're doing this regardless if you're using a coil or a rotary, whatever. You're doing this because of that. This is where it started. This is what got all of us here.
Yeah.
Like, give it its respect, learn it, and fucking use it. Always go back. I don't care if whoever you are, just bust one of them out one day and always go back, because it's like I said earlier, it's like starting over, recharge. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's times where I'm like, man, fuck, I don't even want to work.
you know,
And do something like that, and it's like, woo, I'm back awake.
That's what
you know
I tell.
mean?
That's what I tell the apprentice that we have in our shop. You know what I mean? Because like how I started out, I try to tell him like start out using a coil, feel it out. You know what I mean?
And he
use
does
it on the
traditional
face
artwork,
skin.
so-
Yeah, like use like I'll let you borrow one of mine. You know what I mean? Like use it, and then like I noticed that after a while, like he would like sidetrack from that, and then like Eric, I don't like to be like on butting heads with someone who's also, because I'm teaching him something, someone else is teaching him something, but then he's like I catch him using like a rotary, and I'm like, I'm telling you to use this, and now you're using like a pen. You know what I mean? Like learn to do this. If have this in your nook and cranny. So like one of these days, what happens if like your rotary broke, right? And you're in a tattoo shop and something magically happens. One of your buddies wants to let you borrow a machine. You know what I mean?
You
And
have
it's
no
a
idea what to do
fucking
with
coil.
it. Yeah.
It's like driving a stick in an automatic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, cause if you don't know how to drive, like use a coil, and you're just ripping skin up, because that shit's just gonna be instant.
It's just,
you know what
that's
I mean?
just like I was saying, you just should know. You should know something about it. You know what I mean? You should know everything about it, actually, but like you should know. It's important. You know, get tattooed. You want to know how to learn how to tattoo? Go fucking get tattooed, bro.
What would you tell? What would you tell somebody that wants to come into into tattooing? What would you tell them? How to
Go get tattooed.
There you go.
Fucking see what you like. Learn, get tattooed from a bunch of people. Man, don't be afraid to fucking spend some money.
Yeah.
People, I'm a shoe freak.
Yeah.
I spend money on shoes like you wouldn't believe.
You and Max, huh? I see that. Yeah.
But you know, I'm getting tattooed still, this and that. Go spend your money on what it's investing in yourself.
Yeah.
You're investing in yourself.
Perfect example. George came in as a client, getting tattooed. I told this, and it's something that we joke about. I didn't even. Usually, I'm real hesitant. I'm bringing a.
He didn't even fucking want me.
I didn't want him, bro. I didn't want him to join. I didn't. I'm just being honest.
Fuck no,
But I didn't.
Bro, but I kept coming by every single fucking day. I would be like the first guy there before they even opened, just sitting there like when they were on the second story building, just sitting there on the steps waiting for someone to come in. I'd be waiting there for like 30, 40, 2 hours, 3 hours. It didn't matter. And I'd just be waiting. I didn't even let them know that I was coming by. I would just be sitting there waiting for them. And then as soon as they open up those doors, I'd be like, hey, how can I help? You know what I mean? Can I be here for a while? You know what I mean? And they'll be like fuck it, but start sweeping. You know what I mean? And then it slowly became to that. And then when I was getting tattooed a lot, I just simply just gave out that question.
Yeah.
Can I work here? You know what I mean? And they're all like,
smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth transition. He's already here.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, might as well, right?
Hanging around shops, knowing people, this and that, seeing everybody, just kind of, hey, go get me something to eat, go do this, do that. Like, showing you're down.
Definitely.
And then it's like, okay, this was down. As a person, do I want to give him what I know?
Yeah.
Like, and to me, like I said earlier, at church, that's valuable. Him giving you, like, he gave you a career, homie. He gave you
Pretty
a life.
much.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck would you give that to anybody?
Yeah.
exactly.
100%.
They gotta fucking earn that, bro. You gotta.
And I remember that time too, when I think we were doing an LA trip, and then like we were driving in the freeway, and like I don't know what, but I think we were joking about something. But then that's when you brought it up, when you said, to be honest, I never thought you'd ever be here with me tattooing you, because to be honest, I never really wanted you to work at my shop. And then I was
But
like,
it wasn't
laughing.
personal. You know what I'm talking
No,
about.
it wasn't personal, but we were both laughing.
We didn't really want to bring on apprentices. Yeah.
We were
Just
both
pull
laughing
over,
in
let
the
me get
car. But then, like, in my mind, I was like,
Let me just drop you
yeah,
off.
my feelings were hurt, but I was like, you know what, fuck it. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Dude,
The tear comes
out. Dog, no offense, but fuck, I'm not trying to babysit nobody.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure you
I
as a
know.
shop
Yeah.
owner, you're getting a lot of people
Dude,
wanting apprenticeships,
of
right?
And for like the
yeah.
longest time, I'd always ask Herchell, can I be your apprentice? And he was like, nah. You know what I mean? So I was always the shop apprentice. Which I was
wanted
always
to
cool
learn
with that too,
under
because
everybody.
I learned a little bit about everything, and my apprenticeship did take a bit longer than most. You know, it took about like roughly like 3 years, but I was trying to learn like, you know, how to do lettering. You know what I mean, or how to do like smooth black and gray or traditional or anything. So like by the time I kind of was ready to tattoo, I knew a little bit about everything. Where like a walk-in came in, and then it'll be like, hey, I want to get like my wife's name or something. You know what I mean? I can be like,
You're
I got it.
explaining the process of what it should be.
Yeah.
I love my apprentice Zach. Good Zach tattoo. It's I understand. I get the point out because I went through all the phases with him. I went through the time where it's like, oh, I don't really know what the hell's going on, to like, hey, he knows what's up. He's learning. He's fucking coiled machines. He's doing painting. He's learning. I taught him how to watercolor. Like, there's a process to that, and there's guys that just want to skip it. And it's like, dude, he is where he is now in his second year, third year in tattooing. He's fucking killing it because he's following the process. You can't, like you're saying, now I know how to do all this stuff when they walk in. That's what an apprenticeship is.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what you're supposed to know that by that time, because you don't want to be like, oh, I'm an apprentice, and after 1 year trying to do like a portrait or something like that, and fucking dude,
bro,
I've seen that so
Clyde,
many times. You know,
we had an apprentice.
I was gonna bring that up.
Who was working with us for like a very short time, and I mean, he was just impatient a little bit. You know what I mean? He would try to like, when he first came in, he was trying to do more like neotrad, more like biomech and stuff like that. A lot of color. You know what I mean? But then like we would get him to those levels of like, okay, let's see your drawing skills. Let's see you do like shapes and shit, like light sourcing, whatever.
Focus
you
on
know what I
solid
mean?
black
Yeah,
tattoos,
let's see you
know,
do
get
like
started
small
like that.
tattoos on like face skin or on your buddies. But then like out of nowhere, like I came in one day and he's over here doing like this whole like leg sleeve
wrap around fucking lace.
God.
Like, come on,
with
bro.
the like portraits. You know what I mean? And I'm like tripping the fuck out. I'm like,
it's just focus, bro.
Yeah.
People
what? You know what I mean? Like,
People want the baby. They
Definitely.
don't want to be fucking pregnant or go through the pain of having the baby. They just want the baby.
Yeah.
So it's a patience. It's a focus. It's a real thing. You know what I mean? This isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that it is, and it's not. And then, you fucking crash and burn, dude. You know what I mean? I'd rather fade away, dog, with time than just burn out right then and there in front of everybody. You know what I mean? So it's like the time you're going to take to put into it, and you're going to get out in the end.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I tell these guys. You get what you put in, right?
Exactly.
So, but back to like what he's mentioning about this person is that's one of many people. I'm sure one of many that have gone through your shop and other shops. People that start an apprenticeship and then just don't follow whatever it is, or just for whatever reason they go off and they do their own thing.
They have a shop already.
Then they open a shop. But back to the network, right? This is what happens. So this person that he's talking about, he doesn't have that network. He has no connection to me, us, like, you know what I mean? So he doing his own thing, but he doesn't have that network. He's not gonna have my cosign.
It's important.
You know what I mean? And I think again, that's the difference.
Yeah, dude, it's important. It's hard to say now these days. You background check people, but like at this point, you're just like, fuck, I just don't come in and do me wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just do what you're gonna do or whatever. If they even get to that point of acceptance,
exactly.
You know what I mean? There's more to it. There's more to life than just kind of always trying to fucking put your finger down on somebody. You know what I mean? Like if they're gonna be here for reals, if you know they're gonna be knocking at the fucking door, if you know their art is good, if you know this is just what they're gonna do, then that's one thing, dude. You give them a little piece of your pie, but if someone's gonna eat off your plate, dude, and they're not giving, they're not at least respecting you or your time or anybody else around you, like fuck them.
Yeah,
they can go.
Let me ask you a more. It's like an artist's personal question on this one. What do you think about the hazing back then of an apprenticeship to a hazing what they do now?
It builds character, dude. It really does. You got to break them down in order to
they definitely broke me
build
down.
them up. The hazing thing, you know, there's
Pause. I'm not breaking down, but I did get a like my apprenticeship was, man. They had me wearing tool belt. Like go to Home Depot and wearing a tool belt,
See,
you know what I mean?
And compared
having the shop phone and everything,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, I know a lot of guys too that didn't get hazed, even the older guys, because you're not gonna fucking do that to me.
Right.
Like, now you're like, okay, you're right, I'm not big dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no one's gonna mess with you, but you're still gonna accept your role. You got to know your role. You know what I mean? This is who I am. This is what I'm trying to do.
yeah.
This is the shit I got to take, you know? I've known a couple of apprentices that man, they got it. But fuck, they're badass tattooers right now.
Hell yeah.
They're badass tattooers right now.
Let me ask you a question. I actually wanted to get your feedback because, again, you know, you've been doing this a long time. You're also a shop owner. So let me tell you this scenario that's going on. So I'm gonna bring up your brother Juan. So Juan's brother, right? He did a 10-year run. You know, he was gone for a little while, 10 years. So he's out right now, and he spent those 10 years drawing, right? So you know, he's been focusing on his art. So Juan's brother is out right now, and he's getting his program lined up, and he's slowly gonna come in, and we're just gonna feel it out, give it a chance. But I'm curious, you know, about you, what you think about this. How would you approach like his apprenticeship, being that he's been drawing for 10 years, you know, like how do we deal with that, you know? Like that's something
that's
that
a hard one.
I know I've been
Also
thinking about that.
tattooing in there.
And he was also
Crazy,
tattooing
crazy,
in there.
dope
So
tattoos,
my thing
but
is I want him
it's
to
different.
unlearn a lot, you know, that's the thing. I want him to unlearn a lot. That's the first thing.
When you learn tattooing, dude, I think who you learn it from is important because you got to know everything, like that person, you know? You might just pick up a personal little habit they have that they might not want you to, you know what I mean? So I think you got to go in clear-minded. You have to have a plan
Definitely.
for it. Like, yeah, dog, like lay down your ground rules. This is what it is. This is what it isn't. And just, like I said, it's important because you're giving your knowledge of tattooing to somebody. And even if he thinks he doesn't need it, that we're in two different environments. We're in this and that. They just got to be open-minded. You got to be open-minded.
And he does. He seems
what I mean?
open-minded for sure.
Because it's hard, bro. It's not easy.
Yeah,
And
especially when you've been gone that long. You know, you're
he's
used
got
to a
get
certain.
out and support himself.
Yeah.
So, and now, just in this little room with us, there's 4 guys. He's going to try and like competitively compete.
Yeah.
Our friend, what is it, like a friendly competition?
Friendly competition. Nothing wrong with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And dude, you guys are pretty good.
Yeah.
I got some guys that are fucking great. There's guys everywhere, especially in Southern California, that are badass. So he has to know, you know, don't let your mental get fucked up, bro, because you're not going to be the
True.
best right away.
True.
You're not going to get this right away. You're not going to go be this guy right away. You really have to dedicate yourself to it. You know
Definitely.
what I mean? And you'll get whatever you get.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And that's it's as easy as that now to me because, fuck, how do you tell anybody anything these days?
True.
No one's gonna listen. They're gonna walk and they're gonna go open a shop. They're gonna fucking do something, whatever. So
Hey, let me ask you this, bro. Another thing I've noticed that all over the internet, we've talked about this before, is okay. So you know, like these cosmetic girls, right? I don't know if you guys have seen that.
microblading?
So they do microblading. They'll do certain cosmetic services, but what they're doing now, they're all offering small tattoos now. That's part of this. Not only are they offering small tattoos, but they're teaching. So they're booking
really?
seminars, bro, where they come in for a day, 2 days, and they're charging $5,000 or whatever per person. They're booking 10 to 15 people, and bro, so it's like
It's the same with those tattoo academies. Like,
oh yeah, that's a little
know?
different, but this is more the they're like
Exploiting.
they're pitching it
Yeah,
as
they're using-
like
as
they're
small,
tattoo artists, right?
small
But
tattoos.
it's really
yeah.
it's just their business.
Yeah.
It's their business, and I get it. But because you can set up a rotary with a single needle and all that, you know what I mean? So simple now. They're gonna offer that shit because one of them girls is good, probably. You know what I mean?
Lineworks
Who knows how
Chris
to
from
do
doing those
guys-
eyebrows.
sick,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, she is the lucky one who is transitioning into doing a small tattoo, but like again, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't hate on it. I don't hate on it because I'm just not a hater like
Yeah.
that. But I mean, that's your industry.
It
This
does.
is
It does
ours.
feel like a different industry
You
because
know?
I feel
I
like
think
that
it is.
client
I
is a
think so.
different type of client.
And it's so saturated already now.
True.
Because, you know, that's something, dude, a woman, eyebrows, bro, like
Yeah.
shit. I'm there.
Yeah.
It's cosmetic. You know what I mean?
They're making more money than we are, bro.
They're banking.
Straight up.
And not all of them are good.
Yeah.
Not all of them are good. So it's just another line of whatever they want to call it. But like, if they had to set up a coil machine or something like that, with tube, needle, bands, all that shit, like I doubt they'd be doing it.
True. It's very simplistic
You know
what they're
I mean?
doing.
There's artists, tattoo artists that do that, the eyebrows, you know, the Thea or whoever, and it's clean and they got that down, but that's not their lane.
True.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everyone just got to stay in their lane.
That's it.
Speaking about
You know what I
that,
mean?
someone actually asked me to do a microblade tattoo, but with like a needle, kind of like tattooing eyebrows on them. You know what I
I'm
mean?
good on that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've never really attempted it, so I'm not really wanting to.
I seen the
One's, like,
process,
higher
dog,
than
with
the
other. You know what I mean?
with the wire and the line.
Yeah.
Like to me already right there, I'm like, fuck. I'm
Yeah,
not
or even
gonna
like
straight,
tattooing
bro.
like their lips, like they want like the
lip
cherry
tint,
red
lip tint,
lips.
right?
Yeah, like that. I'm like, I'm not always like I want to try it, but I'm like, damn, I really don't want to fuck them up with that. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
especially if
the
they're
tattoo
paying.
machine has evolved into a tool these days that like it's being used for everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's being used on TV. It's just being used for everything. You know what I mean? And basically, we're not going to get the same result out of everything. That's what people think. You know, it's just going to be the same result. It's not, bro. It's still just a vessel from the person giving you the tattoo.
Right.
So the better you are about it, the more you know about it, the more you're fucking proud of it, the more you believe in it and yourself, and you don't care about all the glitz and glamour of it, the better your tattoo is just going to come out, dog.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's going to separate you from the rest. And it's still, you're still going to be down here. You know what I mean? But just got to be happy with that, dude. Don't let that shit interfere with you because
Now from
it's
a
fucking
guy
crazy.
who does large scale tattoos, you know what I mean? Very detailed, intricate work. You know what I mean? How do you feel when someone comes in and they ask you for like a little tiny tat? You know what I
run
mean?
it, dude.
Run it.
Run it.
Yeah, run
Okay.
it. Run it.
Right.
Oh, no money walks out the shop. Well, I mean, and I'm not like the money guy anymore. I used to be really fucking, you know what I mean? It's a business, but no money walks out the shop, man.
Well, say for instance, like someone walks into your shop and they're like, "I want to get like this micro portrait of a lion on my knuckle tat." You doing it?
Thankfully, I know how to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing it just because like I'll fucking try it, dude. Like I'm just gonna be honest, you know. I'll just do it. I'll try it. You're probably gonna need to do it 5 times or whatever the fuck. They don't want to hear all that. They just want to be like, yeah, and it's gonna look like this picture. Like, yeah, they don't want that. I'm gonna just tell them the truth. I know how to do that. Not all money is good money.
Right.
So if it fucking walks out of the shop after giving it a little bit of effort, let it be, bro, because you don't want that shit coming back on you or your shop or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, this is all we got. That's all I got. My family, my shop, my guys. I'm not going to let anything spoil that or taint that.
Because I've had people when they came in and they'd be like, "Oh, I want to get like a wedding band tat with like my lady and my initial on it with like stars." They want like 52 different things all in one tat.
Larry,
You know what I mean?
Dude, Larry be getting these ones where I want the fucking all this and that.
And then I'll
"Bro,
be
you gonna
like,
do that? He's like, nah.
I'll be like, I could do some of that, but it's a lot of stuff. And they'll be like, and then they'll pull up the good old reliable Pinterest. Like, but Pinterest showed it. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
I worked in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I worked at Electric Paradise in Hawaii. It's not
Badass.
there anymore. It was Peggy Jordan, Shaw, Makua, Ken, and I worked there with Wes Grimm. And that's Bert Grimm from The Pike. It's his grandson. So I worked there with Wes Grimm, and I'm sitting there, and it's this older dude, right? And I'm like, fuck. Well, we're clocking in to work, same time, this and that. I'm like, bro, like, okay, introduce, find out who he is. Like, wow, this is crazy. And he's an older dude. So I'm like, all right, well, he's an older tattooer. He's going to do his thing. Whatever, maybe not be as good as me over here, the young buck, the fucking little shining star in my head, right? Wow. That fool tattooed circles around me.
Wow.
And the things he was doing from small to big and all that shit, it was like, wow, bro.
What kind of work did he do, bro?
Everything.
Really?
Everything. From a wedding band to the 52 things on the knuckle to
Mini
like
portraits.
big scale things. I saw that guy do so much stuff, and he told me, he goes, it's just because I've been doing this. It's in my bloodline. I know how to do everything. I've done it. Don't let it walk out the shop.
Yeah.
I was like,
Right.
That's badass.
I remember when I took that once. I was like by myself at the shop, and like this chick came in, just turned 18, and she said like, "Oh, I'm trying to get a little rib tat or whatever, you know." And she's like, "I want like." At first, it started off with like it's like a string, right? It's super fine line. She wanted like all fine line, and then the, like loops as a heart, and then that string has like keeps going, and then it has like 3 birds like silhouettes, but like 2 are bigger than the other, and like the middle one is supposed to be like representing her with like an empty heart.
It already sounds dog. It already sounds
This is where it trips out even more. So then that streak continues, and then it turns into like this hyper realistic red rose, like that's just like the size of my thumb.
She wanted 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
And then like one of the petals to be like draining out of color, like dripping like into like blood drops.
Puddle.
Yeah, and then yeah. You made that face. I made that same face, bro. But at the time, I was new, so I couldn't turn down any work. So that same thing that same saying that you have, you can't let it go out So I tried like my very best to be like, hey, how about like we do like maybe 1 or 2 of those things, and then we can do like that other idea like somewhere else, maybe somewhat bigger. You know, like maybe let's do that rose a little bit bigger. But she was like so persistent and be like, this is how I want it. So then like I drew it all up, you know, like on my light box, like refining it, you know, looking up references of like realistic roses and stuff. And, you know, I was probably like maybe 3 years into my tattoo career. So I didn't really know too much knowledge on like doing realistic roses, you know. So, but I was like, let me find one like maybe that doesn't have so much like challenging to it. And then like I put it together, and then like, and it's like all of that shit like the size of like that. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
I thought it was gonna wrap around.
I know, me too.
But that's where it's important again, like I said, to know your shit.
Yeah.
You know where in time where that's gonna look like, what it's gonna be, what it's gonna, you know, fucking 6 months from now.
True.
To 6 years to 60 years from now, what it's gonna look like. You gotta say no sometimes.
Yeah.
If fucking it's just too much, bro, you just gotta say no. Like I can't do it.
Do you have like a story like of a tat that someone came in and be like, this is what I get, and it sounded a little too far fetched for you to want to do it?
Yeah, all the time.
Every fucking.
Or is there any tattoos that you're tired, you don't want to do right now? We've been talking about this. What tattoos are you over, bro? Like, which ones are you over? I've been saying the calendar. I'm done with Ask the Calendar,
dude,
bro.
I'm having a hard time really answering truthfully.
Because you're probably booked with
You're probably doing one tomorrow, you know.
That's same with all of us.
I don't know. I think at this point, people know what kind of work I can do.
True.
What kind of work I can't / don't want to do. So I can't say I'll fucking won't do like a certain tattoo, but I mean, there's some.
True.
The repetitiveness, you know, the fucking. I remember for the long time I hated that OG Abel money rose.
Oh yeah. All love to OG Abel, but I get what you're saying.
I love, dude. It's the fucking nicest.
Yeah.
It's to this day. It's the only money rose that has ever referenced. It's the best.
I've done like a few.
But, dude, I've done like 40 of them. You know what I mean? 50 of them probably. And it's difficult. It's hard. And again, like after a while, I just tell people like, you know, it's gonna have to be this size in order for it to transition well in skin. You can't get it this big. You got to get it this big if you want all that detail. You know what I mean? It's for sure. It's not for the skin. And then over all these years, people fucking have defined it and done it perfectly. So I'm like, for that guy, dude. You know what I mean? I got all love for Homeboy. I don't know who he is or whatever. He's a great artist. You should go. He's back. Go to him, dude. You know what I mean? Spend your money on a tattooing. That's fine with me. If I don't want to, I can't.
It's just always about just doing the research on your artist. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of times where someone messaged me and they're all like, it always starts off with, "Hey, what's up, man? I love your work. I love your work."
Yeah.
And then like,
but can you do this guy's work?
but can you do this guy's work? You know what I mean? And it's like,
I just couldn't afford him.
Or like they'll be like, because I do like a lot of line work, single needle stuff too, and like pepper shading and stuff. So like people would tell me like, "Oh, I love your work. I love your peonies. I love like all your flowers, the lettering that you do. But can you do this tribal leg piece?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like my answer would be like, "Yeah, I can, but because I can." You know, this is what it's going to be.
True,
this is going to do. This will be.
Right.
And most of the time,
Because you know it's not going to be a fun day, man.
Yeah.
You're still just a service.
Yeah.
You're still just a service. Work like that saying, work so hard that you don't have to introduce yourself to shit. Get to that point where it's like they're not going to come to you. Or if they do, and they don't know who you are, they don't know what you got going on, give them the best experience possible. That way they can at least just come back.
True.
It's not like, oh, this is my fucking client now, I tattooed them. Like, no, like, if they come back and come back again, yeah, then maybe that's your client. But overall, that's still their tattoo. That's still their shit. You got to give them everything they want about it.
Yeah.
And let it go, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, let it go. You know what I mean? Like the next one, on to the next one. Don't hold any crazy attachments, especially if it's a headache, because then every tattoo after that's going to be that. And fuck, I can't work like that.
I feel that. Bro, you touched on the Pike earlier. So Juan, he's lived a lot in Long Beach.
Yeah.
So the Pike that's now is not the Pike that we're referring to. No, bro. There's a lot of history there. A lot of history at the Pike. Oh, for sure.
That's a lot of fucking cool stuff back then.
Old tattoo shops there, bro.
Yeah, Carrie Barber's shop still down there. It's the oldest shop in America.
The only shops I know is Sacred Gallery, the Raven and Wolves.
Yeah, Carlos'
and then Port City.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
But those are cool. All great shops. All great shops. Carlos, Casper works out there.
Casper's dope. Oh, didn't you work with Casper too?
Yeah,
you did.
Transitions.
I remember that. What happened with Transitions? I actually wanted to ask you about that.
I think Casper sold it.
Oh, so it was Casper.
It was Casper's, and I think he sold it to, I don't know who, I think Danny Wild or something like that. I'm not sure how it's doing now, but Casper's fucking evolved.
That's badass.
Like,
he's dope one. You gotta check him out.
Casper's badass. He's my homie. I love
It's like
Casper.
all the lists of these artists' names. I need to write them down.
Yeah.
I only know one that you guys mentioned.
so I can write it down.
That was
Rewatch it and then definitely.
Yeah, dude, that's like, know your peers. You guys are in Southern California.
Yeah,
we're
definitely.
in like the fucking snake pit of tattooers, bro. Every badass tattooer is like 20, 30 minutes in range of all of us. All of them, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's good to know your surroundings.
LA, bro, we're all
it's
here.
good to know who does what. Refer people to them. You'll get referrals back. Just like, dude, you got to spread it out. As far as people I respect, I try and do that.
Definitely.
I give the guys the shop work. Anybody I know, like, hey, go to Herchell.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate it. Likewise too.
It's just,
again,
just
the
what it
network.
is. Knowing
Keep the money
people.
within the network.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
It
they
really
gotta
is.
eat too, man. You know what I mean?
Everyone's got to eat.
So I wanted to talk about my day yesterday. I did a house call for a tattoo. My client wanted
Seen that.
yeah.
I saw your live.
So my client wanted a Santa Muerte tattoo. Okay. So he took me to his homie's crib. A little sketchy, right, in the area. But yeah, we did 2 tattoos. We did they were both basically like La Muerte. He got one here. It was like a skull with like the headdress, the feathers, and then the other one was like the Muerte with like a rose. But pretty much he was doing it for her.
Promise?
Yeah, promise. And so he had the little altar right there. He was putting like money, like tequila as the offering. And then while I'm tattooing him, that's when I went live. He actually got a banda, grupo, to play music for them, for her. And he was teaching me about it. Yeah,
you're doing a whole ritual, bro.
Yeah, I know. I felt a little weird.
Looked like a small music video.
It really was. And he was just teaching me about like the religion and stuff. Very interesting. I think. I mean, I'm always down to do tattoos like that. I don't really care. You know, like sometimes it could be dark, but sometimes like people don't really know the religion as much. People get scared that it's like, you know, scary muerte type of shit. But it was interesting, bro. I'm not gonna say who, but telling me, you know, back then he had like a tough situation where, like, you know, they were trying to do things to him, and then now he got into that. And I guess she's been helping with protection.
It's all your beliefs, bro.
Yeah, it really is.
It's all your beliefs, man. Life is what you make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you believe in something that's strong that it will help you.
Yeah.
And you give it what it needs. You know what I mean? I personally don't fuck around with stuff that I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I stay away from that just because if that shit is true or if it is strong enough, who knows what kind of fucking power it's going to tell
energy
exactly
follow you.
And that's why I was asking him about that.
I believe that.
Yeah.
It's kind of, dude, if it ain't yours, stay out of it. That's like something I go by daily.
Yeah.
Like, nah. You know, will you do this? Will you do that? Like, nah.
Yeah. So would you do a tattoo of the Santa Muerte?
Actually, you know what? I don't think I ever have.
Oh,
I don't think
okay.
I've ever
Really?
have, just for the fact that like
Does it feel some type of way?
nah, I don't want any like different energy. I'm not saying it's
Right,
a bad
right,
energy
right,
or good
right.
energy or anything like that. I just don't want any different energy, Doug. Like
Yeah.
I just stay.
Have you
I
been
just
asked
mind my
to do one
business.
before?
I have.
Like,
And you just turn
I
it
have,
down?
but again, like I
Right.
don't know nothing about it. And there are
Right.
some people like, oh, it's fucking this, or some
Yeah.
people like it's the best thing ever.
Right.
Some
Right.
people praise it, some people damned it.
Right.
I personally just would rather not even be stuck in the middle. It's like fucking politics and shit.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
That's
You're
like
right.
that's
You're right.
that's
I
like
agree.
walking in and be like, I want to get a spider web tat on my elbow.
Well, not to
or-
mention, yeah, like
you know?
I don't want like again like this is gonna be left in time. You know what I mean? People are gonna see this. People are gonna do that. Like if I'm doing something that I don't want someone close to me, my mother, my father, my kids. I'm just not gonna tie myself with it. Yeah, I might miss the fucking train. You know,
Yeah.
I might not get
Yeah.
the private home session, the band. that shit, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
People are getting paid well
No,
to do
for
things
sure.
like
Right,
that.
for
You know,
sure,
to
for
get
sure.
comfort, tattooed in the comfort of their own shit. But like,
Yeah.
I'm just a
Yeah.
vessel, homie. I don't
Right,
want to fucking.
right.
I don't want nothing to do with it. You
Right,
know,
right.
and that's just me.
I mean,
feel
I
that.
took it on just because I'm
That's
open
your
to it, and I
experience, yeah.
respect their religion and everything they do. To me, it was just a tattoo, but I mean, that's why I ask. Like,
Yeah, no,
not
yeah.
everyone's gonna take on
Yeah.
a tattoo like that, but to
You're
me,
the
I thought it was
tattoo
cool.
artist, dog. So
Yeah.
you.
As long as
they
I'm not
need
practicing
you,
it, yeah,
you
right,
know what I
exactly,
mean?
yeah.
So whatever it is,
To me,
they
business is
need-
business. Hey, they want it.
Yeah,
I'll
whatever
do
it is they need,
Yeah,
give it to them.
Yeah.
As long as it's not going to compromise your business
Right.
or your life.
right, right.
I mean, that's the way I see it. You know what I mean, Herchell? When you go and do the stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
like I see what you're doing. You don't ever tap in like, oh, I'm part of this crew.
Right,
now.
exactly,
no, I'm
exactly.
This
yeah.
guy, Herchell gets there as Herchell, and
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
gets as Herchell.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
You
sure.
know what I mean? And that's very important to me because if not,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
the fuck are you?
You get lost in the sauce.
Yeah, you're lost
you
in the
know?
sauce, dude. Who's Herchell? Is Herchell this guy? Is Herchell that guy? This and that? Like,
Yeah.
nah,
It's like,
dude.
is
Everybody
Herschel
knows
Rockroll
that's
G or
Herchell.
is Rockroll G Herschel?
Yeah,
You know?
No, for sure. Bro, so I know you guys stay busy with like word of mouth, right?
Yeah.
Let's touch on like internet, man, social media. You know, that's something that I've always used like heavily since day one.
Yeah.
You know, is that something that you guys focus on, or is it mainly word of mouth? Like, do you use apps? Do you use any other apps, or what are you using right now?
My bro told me one time before he passed away. He
Yeah.
said it multiple times, but before he passed away, Chris Danley told me that
Rest in peace.
your work will speak for itself.
That's true.
And I said, cool, I get it. And my work was even shitty at times, you know what I mean? So it was like, I get it. The way I feel about social media, when it first came about, it was cool to express yourself and be happy. I see the stuff you do, and it's cool because I can see Herchell.
Right.
The bad part about social media is that you see fucking 95% of these people, you know, Juan or whoever the fuck it is, and they're not them.
True.
They
True.
close the phone or do whatever, and then they go back to fucking being to Juan or whoever, but not
Yeah.
this person.
Yeah.
Right.
So I try not to do that.
Definitely.
So I use it for what it's for. You get distracted by it and sucked into the sauce and this and that. You know what I mean? But I personally think that my social media presence isn't heavy, isn't the best. I don't really know how to do all that shit. I said I've never even listened to a podcast. You know what I mean? So like, I don't do that. I just try and put some solid work out there where someone's gonna go, oh, fucking this guy. You know what I mean? Not where they're gonna treat me like something I'm not.
Yeah.
Everybody knows exactly who I am, what I am, and
What you
through
see is what you get.
Yeah, through social media, that's why I like it. We use it. Everyone has to use it these days. My Zach is great at it. He knows how to do it. He knows how to make everything look all good and
That's
this and that. And I don't.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's why that's
Yeah.
part of the team, right? You have someone. We all
Yeah.
have our strengths and
Yeah.
weaknesses, and when you come together like that, that's ultimately what you know. How you guys come
Exactly.
together
So
is
I
that
learned from
balance.
him,
That's
my
cool.
apprentice.
That's
I'm learning
cool.
from him. I learned from Larry because I see Larry like, oh, well, you know, you got to put the video, the reel or whatever. Like, okay, I'll do that. Like, it's just it's a complete learning process to get to that point where it's gonna work for you.
Definitely.
Once it's working like against you, or you're working too much for it, that's where I'm lost. I don't know how to do that. I'm not capable, I guess.
Have you seen the AI filters over tattoos? That's something big right now. So they're like, they change the transparency.
right?
They post a tattoo, and I don't know how it's done, but it's like layered.
Yeah.
And they like adjust the transparency. So you put the actual reference over the tattoo, and you make it, look
It's
like
crazy. The technology, the evolution of tattooing, technology and shit like that people are given to do work, dope.
Yeah.
So much doper than we had to draw tracing paper, red pencils, all that shit. It's just so much doper, still clean.
It's the iPad generation now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, don't get left behind, use it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Still do what you do, but dude, like the difference then to now, I can see why there's so many great tattooers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they know how to do this. So it's like, yeah, you get this awesome tattooer, and then he just hangs up and he's some little dork who lives, fucking wherever or whatever. But he is that.
Yeah.
And so for me and the guys at the shop, everybody, as what you see is what you get.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Are you guys doing InkCon coming up in June? Freddie's hosting it.
Yeah, Freddie texted me the other
And
day
Corey.
and told me about it.
Bro, my boys are actually. Do you remember Elvis?
We worked with Elvis.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Elvis is part of that.
Yeah.
So we should link up. I've been meaning to send over the paperwork, but we're getting 2 booths.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do
and
the
a lot
same.
of people are going, bro. That's what we could link
I
up
think
out
I'm
there.
gonna do the same.
Yeah.
I have a lot of clients. My family, like a lot of my family lives in the IE.
Ontario.
I have so many clients out there too.
And there's not a lot out there.
Yeah, I have some badass
Bro.
like full blown IE work, like on people like sleeves and chest and stomach, all IE shit. So
Riverside Bells, all that.
Yeah, so I think I was gonna probably do it, go out there and mess
bro.
around.
Just to rap
for the guys. I want the guys to go out there and get out there.
That's
you
why
know
I'm
what
trying
I
to get
mean?
these guys out
Be the
there.
first
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have their info, but definitely I'll pass whatever. I'll let them know too, But yeah, man.
More than likely
we
we'll
can
be
see you
there,
guys out there, bro.
hopefully,
We got a few months to plan. It's in June, so and
I
it's
got
3
a couple
days.
shows coming up too.
Badass.
I'm gonna be I'll be in Milwaukee. I'm working at the Solon booth and Altered Ego booth in Milwaukee. I think we said Baltimore. I'm gonna do the booth for San Diego.
Hell yeah.
New Mexico.
Oh, sick.
Just the InkCon, hopefully. I'm doing a backyard boogie with my homies from Servant.
I did see
and
that.
Carlos Macias and Cryptic tattooing them. I try and stay active as far as like getting it out there a little bit. That was my social media.
Yeah.
I traveled, dude. I just would live on a fucking
That's the
plane.
original social
That's the
media,
original
bro.
social
The
media,
real
bro.
networking,
Right?
bro.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, nothing beats that,
No way, dude.
Nothing beats that, bro. That's
We did
most
the first
powerful.
Hawaii convention when I was at Players Club. We've done so much cool shit.
How's the Hawaii convention? Cool?
You know what? I hadn't been there in a couple years, dog, but the first 3-4 of them it was beautiful. It's the best. And I think now Hawaii's changed a lot too, involved in Hawaii and as far as tattooing, because there used to only be like a couple shops there. Now there's a bunch.
It's like a go-to destination out for tattooing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah,
And I
it was
noticed
fun.
a lot of people are moving out there too, and
Yeah.
tattooers too are living out there
Yeah.
now. So
It's
I
fun.
would-
It's
I
fun.
would-
I remember one time when I guest spotted at a tattoo shop. It was I think it was like Illuminati tattoo in I think Anaheim.
Oh yeah, Niz worked there.
yeah.
Yeah, Niz worked there too.
Yeah, I was guest spotting there for like a day because I was tattooing one of the guys there because he used to work at our shop.
Who was it?
Silos?
His name's Silos. He works. It's more like new, like relatively new, like
Yeah.
probably like
Very
last
recent,
year.
yeah.
I did like a tat on him, but like when I walked up in there, like really small
Yeah.
shop, you know.
But that's fucking Rafa shop.
Yeah, I met the owner.
Yeah.
I met the owner. He was like, he had his apprentice with him, and they were like in a corner, like designing something like this whole geometrical fucking. I was like badass. I'm like,
Rafa's
sick.
a very,
You know?
very like detailed, intricate artist and shit. When I worked there, it was like Oath and
Yeah.
fuck, we had a cool
A lot of
team.
people were there.
Danny,
Elvis was there too.
Elvis was
there
Oath
too.
Danny, fucking Juan, out there.
Juan.
We had a cool lineup of fucking Don Lino, fucking the Donald. Like dude, we had a cool shit.
Migs was cruising around too. I always
Migs.
run into Migs in Anaheim,
Yeah.
bro.
But when I was back to what I was saying, when I was there, it was I had met the owner, and I was the only guy. I was actually surprised because I was like the only guy that was tattooing. But obviously, I was just tattooing the homie that was just working there. But to like, I showed up like, because I like to show up early. I told him like, hey, I'm gonna show up at 10, and he's like,
No.
you know what I mean?
12 o'clock, dog.
You know what I mean?
It's always the first one.
And I have to say that. I will say this, dude. These days, if you're later on in your years or whatever, 10, 9 because you fucking have family and shit to do. I can see that you're gonna start early.
Yeah.
12 o'clock, bro.
Yeah.
My
Shop
brother be
opens at
hating.
12.
Yeah.
I
used to be waking up
but I
late,
was just
working
getting that
late,
time
yeah.
because like it was just a homie, and I was just
Yeah.
hooking him up with this tat, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, like I want to be out by like a certain time, but I also want to stick around and see how everyone kind of works. You know what I mean? So he told me like show up like around like 1, and I was just like, okay, cool. I guess I'll just like fucking be at the shop, at my own shop for like a while, design some stuff. You know what I mean? Pack all my shit. You know, and when I got there, it was like 1 o'clock. I didn't get started until like 2, but like I didn't see anybody still. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't until like 3 or 4 is what like
it's a different time.
It is.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Bro, I
And
remember,
like
bro, when I was first getting started, the shops didn't open till fucking late night. You know,
yeah.
there were late night
that
hours.
was like my first experience of like, because like I had guest spotted in other small shops too, but normally they usually start like around like 12. You know, so when I went there, like to see like it possibly like anyone showing up like around like 4 or 5, you know, and I was already basically finishing up with the tat already, and like I asked the homie, I was like, yo, like where's everybody at? And he's like, well, most of the time these guys don't show up until like way later, like towards the nighttime.
Every shop's
and
different,
then,
man.
And then most of the time, half the crew are out guest spotting in other shops. And some of the guys just came back from Hawaii because they were just doing a convention.
Oh yeah,
you know. So that's why I brought that one up, because they were just at a convention too.
You know, these days, dog, there's a lot of rent situation. There's a lot of this and that. So the artists just come and go as they please. You know what I mean? My thing about guest spotting is that like, I would come and work at your guys' shop, no problem. I wouldn't consider it a guest spot. I would be just hanging out with my homies.
Just hanging out.
What I mean? When you're gonna do a guest spot, to me, you gotta get out of bounds. You gotta go fucking live. You know what I mean? You gotta get a room. You gotta probably get a car. You gotta do this and that, because a guest spot is a fucking kind of a way to show you how to survive.
A residency almost, huh?
Not to mention, what are they gonna do for you?
Right.
You know what I mean? They're gonna accommodate you at some way or another. They want you there. You know what I mean? So it's like that when you do a guest spot, go do a guest spot somewhere where you're gonna have to fucking make it happen, backpack and fucking gym bag. And when you're in the cities, locals and stuff like that, just take that as an opportunity to go and learn a little bit, like your environment, like you did. Obviously, you know, whoa, shit, what's going on, and take it home. Ain't no place like home. Go home and build your fucking. This is where I'm at. This is me. This is who I am. This is where I work. This is the shop. Whatever it is, like this is me. That way, all those guest spots, they're coming in, and you're flying to Hawaii. You're flying to fucking Australia, to Europe. You know what I mean? That's all knowledge that you can turn into power, and the power is you getting fucking to.
And honestly, I kind of lean more on that. Like I want to do like a bit more traveling and guest spotting.
You should,
you know, like.
You should.
Because like out of like the basically the career of working, I've only been mainly at like Pachuco Tattoo. You know what I mean? I haven't really seen what's fully out there, and I've always been like tempting myself, like I'm gonna go,
man.
But
Definitely.
like it's like
Go with the homie fucking calidad out there.
I was
in
like
Utah,
it's kind of
get out there.
yeah.
Bro.
But I was like, it's like I always go like I'm a little bit intimidated to kind of ask on how to go about it, on going to a shop that I don't know who works there and saying like, hey, can I guest spot here?
It's also an opportunity to go somewhere you want to learn.
There you go.
No, because I definitely want to do that just to see how they work.
You got to be able for them to be like, fuck no.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like, you know what I mean? That's what it is. I'm bomb. I can do this and that, blah, blah. Like, nah, fuck, we're cool. Like, fuck that shop. Nah. It's just maybe not the time.
Yeah, true.
Right.
You know what I mean? A guest spot can be any learning experience, bro. Just gotta fucking.
Oh yeah, man. Because like when I got tattooed by Marco, you know what I mean. He's over here like in Anaheim, you know, at the Dark Heritage or Sacred Heritage.
Dark is it Dark Heritage?
I don't know.
I forget.
There's so many now.
Yeah.
But see, I booked a session, and this is going back to what we talked about on watching and learning. You know what I mean? Because he did a portrait on me, and I'm wanting to learn how to do portraits more. But like I booked that session with him just so I can see how he tattoos. I mean, he gets fucking down because I've seen his work. I mean, his work is like pretty sick. He doesn't really draw. He mainly just kind of like.
That's a big part, though.
It is a big part.
The word artist is a huge part in tattoo artists.
Yeah.
You should be an artist. You're gonna learn some stuff. Go to these guys that fucking they're gonna blow your mind. They're gonna draw. They have paintings that like I've always seen things in my mind. The most I've ever learned from people, like you know what you're gonna get out of tattooing.
Right.
They use the same shit you do. They do the same thing you do. You know what you're gonna get. It's what you're gonna learn from them, and the shit you're gonna pick up, the environment you're gonna be put in. That is fucking important. You know what I mean? I think drawing, painting, all that shit is so fucking important because that is the artist you're pursuing, not their work. They could come to all of us right now for the same tattoo and we'll all deliver it.
True.
Who's just gonna be cleaner? The guy that has the fucking,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? All that fucking hugo, all the juice in his head. And that's just what that is. So drawing, fucking artist, being an artist for real.
It's like working out or practicing before the game.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Wow. That's a must. Draw, paint, fucking do whatever. If you're in a shop, if you're in the tattoo shop, do tattoo shop shit. Draw, paint, use your time there wisely. If you're not gonna be there that day, enjoy your life. Don't not be at the shop and then go somewhere else and be fucking tattooing and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, you can do that at your shop. Enjoy your life. You don't want to burn out. Draw, paint, create art, paperwork. It's a portfolio. You're going to show someone 5-10 pages in your book of tattoos, or you're going to show them 2-3 books of tattoos, paintings, drawings, this and that. That's going to sell. Some people will get tired of it looking until they find that one piece that we're talking about that we all do the same one, 30 of them. That one. You know what I mean? There's those people, but then there's going to be just some people that are going to go, you know what, I want to get tattooed by you, but fuck, will you paint my house? Will you design me a shirt? Will you this and that? Not because you're you, because of your paperwork, your portfolio of work. It's very, very important, dude. And I feel
like the portfolio is dying out too.
Yeah, I tell all the guys, like, dude, you gotta have a book to work in my shop. Why? What are you gonna do? You're gonna go up to the guy. That is
the portfolio.
Like,
I gotta be doing that.
No, dude, you can't do that. If you're busy and they walk in, they gotta find that. They gotta find.
Yeah, because that always happens in our shop, bro. Some guy walks in. He's like, "Hey, you guys have any of your work I can take a look at and stuff." Yeah, and then we tell them like, "Hey, it's like right over here. Take a look at it. This one's mine. This one's his. That one's his." Like, if you have any questions of a certain style, I'll show you a book that of an artist who mainly works with that style.
Dude, Justin, Hendrick, and Thomas Asher used to tell me all the time. Most of the time, people don't know what the fuck they want.
They don't.
And you got to show them.
That's it.
And it's like, I know I want like this bird, but I don't know how or what. It's your job. And you just show them a good bird like this, a bird like that. Nowadays, it's easy to go to like Pinterest or whatever the fuck it is and do that. But then it was like you really had to use your creativity as an artist, fucking tracing paper, trace all that, and then put this bird down and them go, dude, and you could hate it. But they go, yeah, that, just like that, because they have no vision of what they know. They want the bird, they just don't know what they want to look like, and that's your job.
That's like one of my
I've been
not
like
pet peeves, but like what grinds my gears, I guess, is like when they hit you up and they'll be like, "How much for a tattoo?" And then I'm like, well, "Yo, like what kind?" Or like, and they're like a sleeve. I'm like, yo, like, tell me more. Like, what kind of style? What? How big? Yeah, pretty much.
Just come into the shop, check it out. Come see where I work.
And they're like, oh, anything's cool. Whatever you want to do. And it's just those questions, right?
They just tell me, hey, just Venmo me 10 racks right now, and then I'll get back to you. Like, I want to know all my shit now. Like, well, you're gonna have to come and get it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna just give it to you over the phone. That's a walk-in now. Is the phone, Instagram. That's today's.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah,
you're right.
Because I tend to do a lot of like face-to-face consultations.
He does.
Like, these guys.
I'll be honest. Like, I'm usually not like that, but I should though. But I should, because I mean that's the best form of communication.
But people know you.
Yeah.
People know you. They might not know you as much as they know him, so they're gonna be like, all right, I know Herschel's gonna bless me, right? But like, who are you again? And that's because of all this tools and stuff that he uses and stuff.
But
which
see,
is
I
why
like
your tools should be.
Exactly.
Boom. You know.
I like to have like the client come in, we map it all out, see if there's any existing tattoos, anything like that. I know, so that way when the appointment is set, I draw it up. It's already fit to their liking, to their standards. There's no like, I like this, but you know what I mean.
Sometimes those custom.
That's all the common knowledge that you should know as far as getting a tattoo prepared.
Right.
Exactly.
You should know all the steps. It should never take you out of any steps. Nothing extra, nothing special for nobody. You should have a thing down already where it's like, this is what I do. This is how much it costs. This is what it's going to be. Blah, blah, blah. Like that. Or else you're going to just get thrown through a fucking hoop over and over. But like, no, I want it like this. No, I want it like that. Can you draw all 12 of these things? Like, no. I can't. No.
And then I'll let you know if I want it.
No, it doesn't work like that. Have your shit.
That's facts.
I like to just be more, like, I like to be like always prepared. I do like those where like walk-ins come in and be like, hey, I want like this crazy shit, and I'll be like, fuck it, let's do that. But if it's like something that like I can take my time on and make sure that it's sick as fuck, it comes out clean, just like I drew it, it's just like the way you gonna get it, like that's always like more better for me. Like if I have the time and it's mainly just the time. If I have the time to be like, hey, let's do a consultation, let's get all the dots on the I's and the dashes on the T's on everything, you know what I mean?
Have, bro. 100%. Make the time.
I feel like sometimes I don't even have time to like, bro, because say you're tattooing every day, right? And if you're not tattooing, I feel like you're either making a design for someone or either consultations, bro. Like there's
follow up.
Not too long ago, I was taking a shit, but also on my iPad, like trying to make get the design for the.
Don't spread yourself too thin, Holmes. If you spread yourself too thin, you're gonna fucking bite off more than you can chew.
Right.
And eventually, you're gonna fuck something up.
Right.
If they really want you. If they really want you, they'll wait. And if your work is what they desire, they're gonna wait for your work.
That's true. That's true.
If they're picking the fucking Virgin Mary, and I don't give a fuck who does it. Hey, dog, let it go.
Yeah, true.
Give it to your boy who's gonna eat now, this and that. Let it go, because the more you're trying to run a business and you're not one, you're gonna fuck it up. And then the people remember that way more than 100%. All 50 badass tattoos you did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
So we're approaching towards the end of this podcast here. I do want to go around real quick if there's any, last minute or any shout outs or anything you want to get off your mind or anything just, that's maybe left unsaid. George, you want to start?
I mean, to be honest, it's like just this whole podcast right now has been like
a lot of knowledge, man. You dropped some
more knowledge today.
A lot of fucking knowledge, you know what I mean? Like just having like a veteran of a well-experienced and knowledgeable artist, like I'm kind of like in the same boat. I was like, damn, I feel like this guy, my mentor right now, which is this 1 hour and 20 minutes that's been going. I was like, man, this guy is fucking down.
I give credit to everybody, to Herchell for being my friend, my brother for all these years, because I've sat here and watched him grow, and I've learned from that.
Likewise, bro.
JJ, Justin, Capone, all the guys at the Players Club, guys at the Goodfellas, all the shops I worked at, I have to credit them for that, because dude, I made my choice and I'm listening and learning. And all I can do is talk now. You know what I mean? I've showed my apprentice what to do. He's killing it. That makes me feel good. I have my artists that everyone's good, my friends, my family, everyone's healthy. Like, dude, what more do you need, bro? What more do you need?
Rich, bro.
We're rich. I'm fucking
rich, man.
balling out of my fucking mind right now.
Blessed.
You know what I mean? And that is because tattooing. Believe it or not. That's it. Tattooing changed my life. It is what I am. I fucking love everything else in it that comes with my life that's extra, that keeps me sane. My kids, my wife, my sports.
Hell yeah.
But fuck, bro. Tattooing, I know what it is. I've learned a lot from it, and I think that's the best way that you guys are going to become successful in your future, is to know what you're doing, not what everybody else is doing. My boy Los and Billy the Kid's Servants, he said something one time, and I was like, fuck, you're right, Holmes. You grow through what you go through. If you do not fucking grow, bro, get a job. You know what I mean?
Get a 9 to 5.
Work hard. And, dude, this is going to give you the best life. Fucking rock stars and musicians and athletes, they come to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They come to us, bro. We're cool already. We don't need to be cooler.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to be better.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
I mean, just kind of like looking back on it, like back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, just coming from where you started to where you are right now, because like we all like have like a starting point. You used to work as a mailman.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. At one point,
shit,
Herchell,
I did it all, bro.
Herchell be flipping.
I worked in warehouses.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought the classic.
But more notable, like you were working for a while as a mailman. Herchell, be working back then, like KFC and shit like that. I was over here working at fucking Dollar General, kicking out homeless guys and cleaning shit toilets and shit. Juan, having like a million different kinds of jobs before landing.
There's a point where I was a masseuse.
You know what I mean?
To car sales.
But going from what you had back then to like where you at right now, it's like it's just mind blowing. You know what I mean? Like
it is.
It's been a rough road, bro. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it, man. I've fucking done a lot of shit that I might regret. I've done a lot of shit that I wish had never happened to
part of living, man.
Me or my friend or anything like that. But man, I've learned a lot. And now I just got to keep my mouth shut. And fucking mind my own business, stay in my own lane, take care of what's important to me, and fuck everything else, dude. Honestly, because none of that shit cares about you, you. If his ratings dropped and this and that, or nobody liked him, nobody would fuck with him. I would.
Appreciate that.
I'm gonna be here. You know what I mean? That's what this is. Longevity, dog.
Yeah.
Don't fucking burn out so fast. You don't want to. Trust me, you don't want it. There's nights of crying and fucking pain and bleeding and hungry and all that shit. I don't want that shit ever again, and I'll never have that shit ever again. You know what I mean? Fuck that.
Yep. Sick. That's what it is. We appreciate you having on, Niz. Everybody make sure to check out Niz Carrillo, One Drop Tattoo in the city of Orange. And we'd appreciate any feedback you guys may have. If there's any new guests you guys want us to bring on board. Appreciate all the love and support. We'll see you guys on the next one. Back in the day.
Thank you guys.
Laters.
Sick.